Oh please, we all know that any good straight male would gladly jump over a pit of fire if it meant getting on with two hot twins at the same time, man. Jesse Shade here for Awfully Good Movies on behalf of the JoBlo YouTube network. And out of the many tributes that were written for Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama upon his death last year, the best one had to have come from the live-action Son Goku himself, Justin Chatwin, who wrote on Instagram, "Rest in peace, brother, and sorry we messed up that adaptation so badly." So that now means between Justin and screenwriter Ben Ramsey, we now have two public apologies from the cast and crew of Dragon Ball Evolution, and hopefully many more to come. But for now, let's revisit one of the truly worst comic adaptations, or is it manga adaptations, of all time, in this Kamehame hilarious episode of Awfully Good Movies. It's been a while since I've done a viewer-requested movie on this show, but I just couldn't resist doing another one after recently receiving this email from one of our many awesome JoBlo fans, Rico Kanipe, who after seeing the trauma I've endured in my previous reviews of Son of the Mask and the Garbage Pail Kids movie, now wants me to visit another infamously bad movie that has been increasingly associated with the truly worst movies of all time. The 2009 anime adaptation abomination known as Dragon Ball Evolution. I personally never got much into Dragon Ball as a kid or an adult, but for nearly 40 years, Akira Toriyama's seminal manga series that then got turned into an anime TV juggernaut continues to be hugely popular all around the world, especially in the US of A, where 20th Century Fox bought up the rights for a live-action Dragon Ball movie in 2002, with the directing job being offered to a murderer's row of talent. Robert Rodriguez, a pre-Superman Zack Snyder, and even George goddamn Lucas. Oh, how I wish to live in that timeline. But with a writer's strike on the horizon at the same time filming was set to begin in 2007, and neither of the anime's owners at Funimation or Toei involved in the film, Fox instead went with a writer and director who knew jack shit about Dragon Ball, neither of whom ever made a Hollywood film ever again, after their adaptation opened up to brutal reviews from critics and anime fans alike, and getting its ass beat at the box office by Hannah Montana the movie. In fact, Akira Toriyama was so pissed off by the live-action desecration of his work that he returned to the Dragon Ball franchise, whose latest movies have been breaking box office records in both the East and the West, while the American Dragon Ball movie has only broken the spirits of those unlucky enough to watch it. So even as someone whose knowledge of the source material is casual at best, I will honor the wishes of Mr. Kanipe and his cousin Trevin to find out how this movie failed to bring the Kamehameha over to Amera-era Ka. I do apologize in advance for any mistakes I may make to those JoBlo subscribers out there who are devout Dragon Ball fans yourselves. The last thing that I need is to start fielding angry comments from anime fans who want to go all Super Saiyan on me. Look, kid, I'm sorry I got the character's name wrong. I don't even have enough time to catch up on Succession. How can I be expected to catch up on all of Dragon Ball Z? Okay, you know what? You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts! Make sure your alcohol level doesn't go over 9,000 after fighting off the magic of the awfully good drinking game. Take a shot or drink when the movie opens with an explainer on our intergalactic warlord villain, Piccolo, and how he came down from space to nearly destroy our planet 2,000 years ago with his werewolf ape sidekick until some wizards used a spell called the Ma-Fu-Ba to lock him up inside some kind of ceramic pot. Look, your guess is as good as mine, folks. Then we open on the sweaty slow-mo fight training being undergone by our future hero, Son Goku, played in an unfortunate bit of whitewashing by a pre-shameless Justin Chatwin, who is the obviously adopted grandson of his erstwhile trainer, Grandpa Gohan, played by Randall Duck Kim, best known for co-starring alongside Keanu in the Matrix and John Wick franchises.
Prepare to eat dirt.
No folks, you're not watching the Asylum's shameless Cobra Kai ripoff show, even if the CGI on that bug is just as good as that of the Asylum. This dork really is supposed to grow into the swollen martial arts superhero badass that anime fans know and love. a little puke who's getting his ass thrown by his grandpa into watermelons. What next? Is he gotta learn to defend himself against a bunch of bananas?
Shut up!
And now that this Asian-named Caucasian has now become a man with his 18th birthday today, even though he's clearly well into his 20s, Gohan gifts Goku with one of the 7 mystical Dragon Balls that will unleash the perfect wish when brought together.
I'll keep it safe, always.
Thanks, Grandpa.
I think there's a better time to give the magical orb that can potentially destroy the world to your grandson than right before he goes to high school for the day. You know, just like Goku didn't do in the original anime, where he lusts after the hot girl in science class who will later become his wife in the anime, ChiChi, played by a post-real world Jamie Chung, who's sadly already taken by the football jock Carrie Fuller, whom this school allows to threaten other kids and destroy their bikes without any punishment whatsoever. Just make sure you keep scoring those touchdowns.
Make me pay, Geeko.
What are you doing here, Geeko?
But Goku must heed his grandpa's advice and hold back his rage in the form of Justin Chatwin's many unintentionally hilarious rage faces.
Show me what you got. Just like I thought. Nothing.
Don't cry out loud.
He looks like Will Forte as that psychotic mattress salesman on Tim and Eric. However, Goku impresses the girl by opening her stuck locker with the power of the Force. His ki.
Use your key.
You know about Ki?
Your key!
And he's gonna need all the ki he can muster against our recently escaped villain, Piccolo, played by James Marsters of Buffy fame, looking like Stanley Ipkiss of The Mask fame. Who from inside of this airship he stole from the Gorilla's Feel Good Inc. music video, blows up a Japanese village so he can investigate a survivor as to where one of the 7 Dragon Balls are, with the help of his henchwoman, Mai, played by erstwhile J-pop singer Eriko Tamura, wearing the one costume change that was too fabulous for Jobu Tupaki. Did that gun turn her into the Heroes logo? But before they next come for the Dragon Ball that Goku's now got in his jacket pocket, Goku's gotta slick up his hair and head to a party that ChiChi invited him to at her house, where he finally confronts Fuller and his gang of fellow Stephen King bully stereotypes, using the many skills that his grandpa has taught him in the arts of fighting in Zack Snyder's slow-mo, of making half-hearted action hero quips.
That's gotta hurt.
Your boys, they've been showing me what they got. Nothing. Hey, Fuller!
Go easy on the Pepsi.
And of course, the art of sliding his gelled up hair across the roof of Fuller's new car. Did no one in the production of that scene just feel simply terrible about themselves? And why does Goku's screaming sound like Trey Parker getting hit with eggs in basketball? I think this kid should be fighting someone more on his fighting level, such as Chris Farley as the Beverly Hills Ninja.
Holy shit, Tom!
But Goku soon senses trouble rising back at home where Grandpa Gohan is dropped in on by Piccolo searching for the Dragon Ball.
It's not here.
Then wrecking the poor old man's house on top of him without even one obvious villain quip about bringing down the house. Goku arrives just in time to hear the dying words of his grandpa, who heeds him to seek out all 7 of the Dragon Balls and banish Piccolo from the earth before it's too late.
7 Dragon Balls must be found, for all men's fate will be bound. Always have faith in who you are.
Oh, Grandpa, even in your death, I can still hear your laugh mocking me from the grave.
Grandpa.
I hope you rot in hell, you miserable old bastard. But who should barge in with a loaded gun and a terrible wig but yet another future star of Shameless, Emmy Rossum, in the part of...
Bulma Briefs.
No, that cannot be a name that a human being has. Bulma Briefs? The character's name is originally just Bulma, but her father's named Dr. Brief, which is his first name and not his last, so they've given her the full name of Bulma Briefs. I can't wait to meet her wisecracking sidekick, Bulma Drawers. Bulma happens to be a scientist's daughter who must steal back his stolen Dragon Ball to avenge his murder,
I swore to my father I'd get it back.
using something that she calls a DBE meter.
Dragon Ball Energy. DBE. Catchy name.
One of the many inexplicably advanced technologies in this story, which I guess is set in the future. I guess. This is nothing like the year 2009 as predicted in the movie Free Jack. So Bulma and Goku reluctantly team up to search for the Dragon Balls, the mention of which will leave you drinking game viewers out there very much inebriated.
Dragon Ball.
The Dragon Ball.
The Dragon Ball. Dragon Balls. Dragon Ball.
There's another Dragon Ball here.
And the next Dragon Ball happens to be in this derelict apartment owned by the Kung Fu master whom Goku's grandpa asked him to seek out. Master Muten Roshi, played sadly by the legendary Chow Yun-Fat.
Stop!
Yeah, I'm angry!
You knew my grandfather?
I trained him.
I am Muten Roshi, the Invincible!
Yes, the same Chow Yun-Fat who helped popularize Chinese cinema in the 90s and beyond through his movies with John Woo and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, has now brought his career to this most lowly state. If John Woo's doves could see him now, they would surely be crying. Granted, a lot of this silly role is somewhat close to the Master Roshi of the source material, namely his taste in Hawaiian shirts and perverted sexual attitude that has gotten the Dragon Ball manga banned from some school libraries.
Leave your hand there another second, and you'll lose it.
Let's go.
But Yun-Fat looks as lost as everyone else here, fighting with rubber CGI arms that make him look like Stretch Armstrong, and having to play second fiddle to a bunch of actors who look far less badass than him at handling guns or kung fu fighting. Which also includes erstwhile K-pop singer June Park in the role of the desert bandit Yamcha,
I'm gonna need some payment.
Who do you think made this trap?
who has trapped Goku and company inside of his trap in the road,
One more outburst like that, and I'm out here.
and soon gets convinced into joining up on their search for the Dragon Balls.
How would you like to make more money than you ever dreamed of?
Now you're talking, bro.
I sincerely don't know if this is June Park's actual voice doing his ADR, or if it's one of the corny dub actors from the actual Dragon Ball show.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not the one stuck in the hole.
That's how bad this dialogue is, people. Yes, I am an American from America who enjoys hot dogs and striped flags. Now allow me to sing our national anthem of America to prove that I am from America. And I'm proud to be from America, the country from which I'm from. But before Yamcha can help our heroes obtain the next Dragon Ball inside of this lava pit, Piccolo Riccolo puts forth his next plan to stop our heroes by injecting himself with all of the COVID vaccines. Or rather using his blood to form some rubber-suited henchmen straight out of Power Rangers, who can regenerate when chopped in half. Too bad that our heroes quickly defeat them with the power of bad editing.
Fuck was that?
With Goku throwing their bodies into the lava to help him make it across and obtain the Dragon Ball. Are we sure Robert Rodriguez didn't actually direct this movie? Because this is giving off some serious Spy Kids 3D vibes. And as we recently saw with Ant-Man 3, that is not a compliment. I'm comforted to know that Dragon Ball fans have been as baffled by this movie's plot as I am, having only seen bits and pieces of Dragon Ball Z on Toonami as a kid. But I have seen some of the classic kung fu movies which helped inspire the manga's creation, as well as the works of this movie's producer, Stephen Chow, who with starring and directing in the cartoon-inspired martial artistry of Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle, established himself as the ideal person to translate the visual frenzy of the anime into live action, and whose name convinced both Chow Yun-Fat and James Marsters to sign on for this reportedly $100 million action epic. Only for them to arrive for filming in Mexico at an abandoned jeans factory to find out the budget was actually $30 million, and that Stephen Chow was nowhere to be found. He's as much of a producer of Dragon Ball Evolution as Steven Spielberg is a producer of the Transformers sequels. This is why many of the actors are seen sweating profusely on screen here, as they discover the apocalyptic visions Goku's been having whenever he grabs these balls are foreshadowing the return of Piccolo's most dreadful soldier of all, Ozaru.
I need to somehow defeat Ozaru.
The Destroyer.
He will kill you, and Bulma, and Yamcha.
I whispered his name because I want him to die first.
The only chance the world has now is in Toy-San.
So now it's off to Toy-San, where Goku meets up with ChiChi at her big fighting tournament against Piccolo's henchwoman that we had clumsily shoehorned into the plot earlier, while Master Roshi heads to the temple of his own master. Not Master Mutaito as in the anime, but rather Sifu Norris, played by Ernie Goddamn Hudson.
I need another containment vessel.
The Mafuba? That will consume all of your life forces.
The plan sucks.
Look, Ernie, it's great that you're trying to put more non-Ghostbusters credits on your resume to draw nerds to your Comic-Con autograph booth, but I can't buy Chow Yun-Fat being the disciple of an African-American man who's only 10 years older than him and been living among these Chinese monks like he's Ace Ventura or Leonard Cohen. Besides, we all know that Ernie Hudson's favorite anime actually happens to be Pokemon. Thank you very much.
You get the packs that you buy. You can buy a deck, but they prearrange those. But when you create your own deck, it means you go into battle with your own set group of Pokemon to do what you want them to do when you need them to do it.
The time has come for Roshi to teach Goku the fabled finishing move known as the Kamehameha.
To master the Kamehameha, draw the power of the universe.
Which looks more like he's showing him how to dance the Makaraka Rain Ha. And ChiChi comes by to help him harness his magic key with the promise of draining his dragon blue balls.
Tee, you're so cute when you co-opt my people's culture. Come here, you Chet Hayes of martial arts, you.
But what's this? ChiChi just made off with the Dragon Balls. Could it be that Piccolo's henchwoman took a vial of ChiChi's blood that she used to transform herself into a clone of ChiChi? Because that's apparently a thing that this character can do now.
Ah! Who the hell are you?
I'm you. Me. You're not me. You're my. My what? Your name is my third base.
But before the two ChiChis can make amends and run a chain of Mexican restaurants together, Roshi must summon the magic of his invisible vape pen to save Goku from the verge of death, while he has a spiritual vision of his dead grandpa.
Grandpa! I'm so happy to see you! Are you here for me?
It's not your time, Goku. There's much left to do.
Holy hell, did I just find out that James Gunn ripped off the emotional dialogue for Rocket Raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 from Dragon Ball Evolution? I knew that this kid's passing resemblance to James Gunn was more than just a coincidence! Though Goku is alive, the whole world will soon be dead now that Piccolo has obtained all the Dragon Balls in time for the oncoming solar eclipse, and can finally do something of value in this movie aside from standing around sweating his dick off in that corny-ass makeup. And after Ernie Hudson gives our heroes a crock pot to summon Piccolo back into, since that bastard Walter Peck took the last ghost containment trap, the movie's terrible CGI somehow gets even worse in this final fight scene. Yamcha jumps his Jeep off a cliff to show off the rocket tires he never mentioned previously, Piccolo jumps off to do the superhero landing pose before Deadpool was around to make fun of him for it, and Goku finally dons the character's trademark orange gi, only 15 minutes away from the ending credits.
And I'm here to destroy you.
To discover from Piccolo that the real Ozaru was inside of him all along.
When the blood moon eclipses the sun, you will become Ozaru.
No!
Oh yes, you're a fucking wolf! You're a fucking wolf! Oh, you're a big strong wolf!
Say hello to the film's worst looking CGI effect of all, when Goku transforms into the Great Ape, known as Ozaru, looking less like an ape and more like the terrible effects from an American Werewolf in Paris. I assure you this is a real special effect from a major motion picture released by the same studio that gave you Avatar in the same year as Avatar. And funniest of all, the practical effect that they originally used for Ozaru in this movie looked even worse. Guys, my mouth is stuck open because I had to go to the dentist today. Can we delay filming for tomorrow? But before Ozaru strangles Master Roshi to death, Roshi implores him to remember the human being that's still inside.
Always have faith in who you are.
And Goku settles back into his human form, with his spiky hairdo now looking stupider than ever.
I am Goku. I am Ozaru.
I am the Eggman, and I am also the Walrus. Coo, Kachoo! I don't know what's happening anymore, and this movie has done very little to make me care. I don't think we have to worry anymore about what a movie made entirely by AI will look like, because Dragon Ball Evolution has already beat it to the punch by 14 years.
Before we continue with our video, here's a reminder to click the store tab on any of our JoBlo channels and browse our collection of the latest and freshest designs in our merch store. Go get you some.
Oh, piss off. The only part of that phrase that I agree with anymore is the ha. Despite Piccolo's defeat, our heroes are still saddened by the death of Master Roshi, and agree to use the one perfect wish that will be summoned with the Dragon Balls to bring Roshi back from the dead, and allow him to pinch Emmy Rossum's ass for many more years to come.
Give life to Mugen Roshi.
What the hell's this? Now I discover this movie also has the same ending for Chow Yun-Fat that Michelle Rodriguez had in that latest Dungeons & Dragons movie.
Don't tell me you wasted it on me.
Now there's a far better film adaptation of a dragon-related franchise for you, with far better special effects.
I was in the place I can't describe. Then your grandfather Gohan came up to me and kicked me out. There was a lot you still needed to learn.
And your grandfather wanted me to relay this one last message to you from beyond the spirit realm, that he'll always love. And he went on like that for 5 or so minutes. I think you get the point.
That sweet lady's butt.
Yes, I have to agree, Yamcha. That is indeed some sweet lady's butt. Unfortunately, the previously hinted romance between him and Bulma isn't gonna go anywhere. So let's end our so-called plot on one last flirtatious fight between Goku and ChiChi, in front of the same empty audiences that greeted this film in theaters. But wait, there's more to come. In this mid-credits stinger where we focus in on a nondescript woman preparing a bowl of soup in real time for literally an entire minute of this movie, and then discover her tending to the least surprising mid-credits return cameo this side of Henry Cavill and Black Adam. What a joke. This stinger didn't even bother getting people hyped up for a potential Dragon Ball sequel, not even introducing any of the many other characters from the anime left out of this movie, and not even a single line of dialogue. Almost as if this movie was made during a writer's strike that prohibited the filmmakers from making the many rewrites that this script clearly needed to resemble a somewhat more cohesive story. Oh wait! That's right! No! Writer's strike or not, the screenplay for this film was so awful that writer Ben Ramsey received a fair share of hate mail, and in 2016 would sincerely apologize to the fanbase. Calling the film flat-out garbage he blames no one else for but himself. Producer Stephen Chow would actually go on to co-direct a film adaptation of Journey to the West, the Chinese literary classic that also helped inspire Dragon Ball's creation. James Marsters would return to the DB franchise in 2018 as an English dub voice in Dragon Ball Super, while director James Wong would head comfortably back to TV after Evolution's failure, with none of the promise he showed as the director of Jet Li's The One or the first and third Final Destination movies coming through in this studio hack job. It's a film as pointless as its tacked-on subtitle, one that appeals to neither Dragon Ball fans or newbies, let alone human beings. Without the colorful and dynamic visuals of the source material, and nothing to emotionally invest in over a threadbare 85-minute length, it truly lives up to its foul reputation, and can only be recommended for the most sadistic bad movie fans. In fact, this movie is such a desecration to the Japanese that I'm surprised Christopher Nolan isn't also making a movie about the second biggest bomb that we've dropped on their country.
8, 7. Now you're talking, bro.
On the enjoyableness continuum scale from Boulder Bruce, Dragon Ball Evolution could go one step further if it wanted to, but instead takes several steps back, and sets off the DBE meter with a 2 out of 10. The only thing that'll drag on about this movie is its length. I'm Jesse Shea for JoBlo.com, and thanks again for watching our show. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the JoBlo Originals channel. Tell all your friends who like this sort of content, and turn on the bell to receive notifications for all our latest videos. We are an independent company that appreciates all of your support, and we hope this new writer's strike in 2023 will not lead to something far worse than an AI-written script. An AI-written script for Dragon Ball Re-Evolution. No!
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.